kita juga, kita orang asli, we are orang asli, we also want to study and we want to smart people. Or others people, they say, oh, orang asli, they don't like to go to the school, they don't like to go to study. That is not true for me. Orang asli, they want to study and they want to jadi orang yang bermarwah, orang yang bernilai, dan orang yang ada martabat.
My name is Joe Byrnes. I'm from America, New York specifically, and I came here about 8 months ago to help the Orang Asli. My NGO is Souls, based in Kuala Lumpur, and basically what we're doing is we're teaching English as a second language and hoping to educate and therefore empower the local population of Orang Asli, who are underserved in many ways, especially with education. My goal is to educate as many as I can as quickly as possible. Here in this village, I'm educating adults and children and youths in the teenage category. In Kampung Parik, where I live, I have a program where I'm taking youths from 17 to 23 and training them in English language in a very intense program that takes about 4 weeks, and then sending them to the Souls School in KL, which is called the YBC Youth Development Center, which is a free school, free education, free room and board, and now we've sent about 40 Orang Asli to the school where they learn not only English language, but they learn computer and public speaking, and more than that, and more importantly, they learn confidence and how to set goals and believe in themselves and come to expect something out of their lives. And this is a big change in the way that people are dealing with it. Soul's purpose is, as you can see on our shirts over here, to serve. We're serving the communities here and trying to empower them to have the self-responsibility and education to go further, to bring themselves further, to move ahead in the 21st century. When I came here, not so much culture shock. I've lived all over the world, including Kenya, and of course in Europe. First time in Asia, other than Japan, which is not really much like the rest of Asia. So yeah, not much culture shock for me. In fact, when I came here into the jungle, I didn't know anything about the Orang Asli. I simply asked to be in the jungle. I wanted to be in a place that was difficult and was underserved, and that not many people that were volunteers wanted to go to. So they sent me here, and and then I started to learn about the Orang Asli, living among them, and trying to learn Bahasa, and then I'm beginning to learn a little bit of Temiyar. This is the Temiyar people here.
How long did it take to learn the local dialect here?
I'm still in the process.
What was your first word that you learned?
Eloga.
What is the
Eloga
meaning
means
of Eloga?
apa kabar, same. How are you? How are you doing? And
how much of improvement have you seen the kids picking up learning English?
Yes, they've definitely improved. Part of the problem that we have here is that in addition to being underserved by everyone, some of them just don't attend school. So trying to figure out who is needs to learn how to read and write, as well as who needs to learn English as a second language, has been a struggle for me. But I would say that we've seen a lot of improvement in the level of understanding. Nobody can have a conversation yet, but I can get them through quite a bit.
And what sort of future do you see for these kids here?
If we are able to educate them further than just a simple English program, but use the English program to empower them and bring them to the next level, so that we can get them to believe in themselves, help them to understand that there is more in the future for them, then that's going to be very helpful. That can move them in the right direction.
How big is the village, and how do you, spend your time, since you're the only person here, right?
I am. The only, Western person here?
The only Western, the first?
Yeah, I'm the only Western person in 20 or 30 kilometers from here, yeah.
And do you foresee more of your colleagues or partners coming down here to teach the kids?
I have no idea. I can't answer that question other than to say that it's a tough life here. It's not particularly easy for Western people. I love it, but I can understand why it would be a little bit more difficult for Westerners to stay in the jungle. Americans maybe not so much. We tend to be more adventurous.
I noticed that the locals show a bit of respect to you. And how did you manage to do that?
I come here every single day. I'm with these people all the time. I love them as much as they love me. They're amazing people. They're very friendly. They're loving, sweet people. So I treat them with love and respect, and they treat me the same way in return.
I really respect your initiative that you've taken, coming here and helping the locals.
This village, Angkek, is one of the most beautiful villages that I know in the area, in Kuala Betis district. And it was so beautiful. Everybody's house, these are the houses of some of my students, and it was so beautiful. It was lovely. We'd come here and have, be invited for dinner, and just to watch the children play, banana trees, everything. You couldn't see from the road, you couldn't see these houses. This was all vegetation and trees and jungle. When the river came up, which was very rapidly, and the river's right behind over here, you can see the dip where that gentleman is standing. The river came up and flooded and destroyed everything. You can see these houses here have nothing left in them. My families who are now living at the top of the hill in tarp tents and structures like that, temporary structures until these houses are rebuilt. They just lost everything. Anything that was in their houses was swept away by the river.
You've seen the helicopter aids being
Correct.
sent to the villages and all that. What have you got to say about that?
Well, I'm very, very happy to know the United Sikhs and what they've done with the helicopters, bringing aid up into the villages in the mountains, not Angkek, so to speak, but certainly the villages in the mountains that are inaccessible by four-wheel drive and only by helicopter. Lovely to see what's been done and their commitment and the fact that they've been back. This is, I think, the second or third time they've come back, and it's lovely to see.
What's your message to the world outside there that you want to convey about the locals here?
Well, I would say that, in the West, we have similar tragedies to this, natural disasters where houses are flattened and from hurricanes or floods. And, you have a lot of problems like this that happen all the time. The difference in America is that, we have a lot of money and the government can jump in and help right away. People have insurance, not necessarily in places like Louisiana or New Orleans where there was a huge destruction a few years ago, but in a lot of places, the government, communities, and the individuals have the ability to bounce back, to come out of it easily. Here, even though there was very little loss of life, this damage is life-changing. The people don't have any money. They don't have the opportunity to rebuild easily. So any help that we can get, any help that the West can bring would be, highly appreciated.